And low key, now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like they think this is like Boondocks. Like they think this is like in the same element of Boondocks or something. I feel like this feels like this feels like somebody who isn't black watched Boondocks and created a show because they think this is this is what Boondocks was depicting. They didn't really catch some of the nuances in the stories and like the underlying messages that certain shows. You know what I'm saying? Like, just go watch the trailer and let me know something, bro. Because this is crazy. I ain't gonna lie. And I don't even, like I said, I don't even usually have these type of opinions on stuff like that. But this right here, this didn't feel right. I ain't gonna lie.
It's a no for me, dog.
So I don't usually do this, but I feel like I needed to because, baby, y'all opened up Pandora's box yesterday.
Hold up, what? So you're telling me that this raggedy animated film called Good Times is not written by a black person? The raunchy R-rated trailer reveals a new look at the Evans family through the eyes of executive producer Seth MacFarlane and showrunner Renata Shepard.
TikTok, I hate it when my people do anything for money. Let me pitch myself down to a little guy so I can explain. Steph Curry already got money, but he allowed these people to have him do some dumb shit. Let me explain. Netflix orders animated version of Norman Lear's Good Times from Steph Curry and Seth MacFarlane and Norman Lear. What's the problem with this, you say? John Amos was kicked off the show, practically left the show, because these producers who didn't look like him, he got tired of the unauthenticity of the way they portrayed black people in the hood. During his tenure on Good Times, Amos openly clashed with the writers of the show due to the script's lack of authenticity in portraying the African-American experience. This led to his dismissal by the executive producer, Norman Lear himself. Now, I don't know if Steph Curry was aware of this knowledge or if he even gave a damn.
It got wild on TikTok, okay? Not too much on IG, but my TikTok babies are like, they some thugs, so y'all be going there. But a week ago, I let y'all know about the Good Times animated show coming to Netflix in April. Yesterday, I posted the trailer. Now, this is not me in any way, shape, form, or fashion trying to convince you all to watch the show. This is me clearing the air because it got stuffy in this bitch yesterday. And I don't argue, I inform. That's what my page is. I give y'all information on shows and movies so y'all know what's coming out and what's on the way. All right? So,
this is pretty much Netflix's version of the Cleveland Show. But what more do you want me to say? Seth MacFarlane is producing this shit. It's literally the Cleveland Show if this time the father was voiced by a black man. Because remember, Cleveland wasn't voiced by a black dude before. It was voiced by a white dude who was pretty good and funny, but still, that, you know, it's just the Cleveland Show. Like, I mean, I'm putting the pictures right here on the video. You see the pictures right here? You see the similarities. You see it. It's the whole Family Guy archetype. The dad, the mom, the daughter, the son, hell, even the baby in this one. Did we ask for this? No, of course not. But you know Hollywood, you know Netflix. They don't care what you want. They just care about what they
so let's go behind the scenes of the Good Times animated show, starting with the writers and creators. Renata Shepard, whose past projects consist of Born Again Virgin, Young Love, and Act Your Age. Carl Jones, who is known for The Boondocks, Black Dynamite, and The Last OG. Cree Summer, who many of you all know as Freddie from A Different World. She is the voice director on this project. And of course the cast, which I've touched on with my previous post. And as you can see, a lot of familiar faces. Now, someone asked me why I was intrigued by this and wanted to watch it. And this is why. All these different cooks in the kitchen that have created and been a part of stuff that I've liked before. And I want to see what this final product produces, especially when I read articles and I'm seeing it repeatedly being said that it's not exactly like the original TV show. It's going to be something different. And I want to see what that different is going to be. I give everything a chance before I judge or cancel it.
So I saw the Good Times reboot. This time it's a modern take on the original show. It'll also be animated. It does have an amazing cast. About this movie reminds me of Good Time. is a Boondock spinoff. It's more in common with Family Guy. For the Cleveland show, Good Times. Good Times was a sitcom parody based on a struggling family, but the main point of it is they made ends meet. They were not a wealthy family, but they made it work. Just not feeling it. While I do like the animation style, I like how different it is. I like we should give up on recreating a show like Boondock. Why? Because you cannot make a show like this without having the messaging. To me, the most important part of the Boondocks was the commentary behind the show. It was a critique on the culture. That's why it's one of those shows that have been passed down from multiple generations. That's why Gen Alpha's watching it. That's why Gen X, Gen Z's watching it. I believe that if a reboot cannot be better than its original, it should not be made. It's just me.
Don't feel the same, that's fine. I respect that. That's your business. Everything is not for everybody.
No. Let me tell you something. You take this shit, burn it. Okay? Take the ashes, put it in the toilet.
So if this is not something you want to watch, don't. Like, it's really that simple. Just don't. But I just wanted to make sure I corrected the narrative because it was wrong when it came to some of the comments with what people were saying and assuming based off a trailer and a poster and who they felt were behind this creation. So April 12th, it'll be on Netflix. Do what you do.
Have y'all seen the trailer to the Good Times Netflix show that's about to come out? I'm gonna just keep this brief with y'all. It's a no for me, dog.
But for you to allow two more of these writers to act like they know what goes on in our neighborhoods and our family and our situations, and to act like these two people right here next to Steph Curry can articulate how we act and how we live in our ghettos and our neighborhoods, this is absurd. And let me tell you, go watch the trailer on Netflix.
Not only did we not ask for this, we don't want this. Like, this is one of them shows that can't be redone, recreated, or rejuvenated. Leave this alone. This is why Hollywood or whoever is over there, y'all need to pay these people for their creative direction. Y'all need to pay these writers because obviously y'all are running out of ideas because y'all are trying to remake classics and ruin them. Y'all trying to remake a classic. We don't want that.
What the fuck are we doing?
We need new shit to watch. We don't want no old shit. And the budget for the cartoon, it looks so cheap. We don't need y'all to make a modern day. We don't want that. Good Times was perfect for the time frame that it was in. We don't need JJ with what are those? Bleached dreads or wigs. We don't want that.
I know most of y'all probably seen the Good Times trailer, but if you watch Boondocks, Family Guy, Big Mouth, American Dad, Simpsons, you're gonna fuck with that show. Everything is just gonna be over exaggerated. This is how they making the baby a drug dealer, and they just over exaggerating the shit. Understand, these shows are not for the weak. This show not gonna be for the weak, and guarantee you that. So if you're a person that's really sensitive, that's not the show for you. But what I will say is that they probably should have never made it called Good Times. They probably should just named it something else. And y'all would have been fine with it, just like y'all was fine with Boondocks.
We don't need that. We didn't ask for none of this shit. The man had a bucket hat on. Not no damn wicks. We don't want this. Control, Alt, Delete. Shut this shit all the way down. Throw it away. Recycle bin. Empty recycle bin.
It is disgusting. But wait, there's more. When you go watch that, you are going to be so upset at the stupidity that these people are writing for this show. The ignorance. But wait, let me show you the actors in the show who still don't get it. They all black, y'all. J.B. Smoove, Yvette Brown, Jay Farrow, Slate Johnson, Wanda Sykes, and that girl, Marseille Martin.
This is the Netflix reboot of the show Good Times. I think we need to boycott this one. My name is Brother Legend, and I'm here to raise your consciousness. This show is already problematic for so many reasons. I'm just going to give you 3 and keep it pushing. The first one is, how you going to have a show talking about black people and the black struggle and black families, and it's produced by 2 members of the Cauliflower Coalition? I've never seen Steph Curry's name in the credits before, but I feel like he's just there as a token. But this is something Seth MacFarlane is known to do. For those of you that don't know, Seth MacFarlane is the creator of Family Guy and The Cleveland Show. You can't find me one show about a white family with all black producers. But somehow, this guy has gotten away with 4 seasons of making fun of black stereotypes and black trauma. Not to mention, this is the voice actor of the father in the show, which is literally blackface. Aside from the stereotypes of obesity and promiscuous curvy women, the second reason it's problematic is because in the Good Times reboot, Seth MacFarlane once again adultifies a young black boy. The adultification of young black boys is the reason why they get longer sentences and more incarcerated. It's the reason they have a harder time in school and are more likely to be disciplined. But to Seth MacFarlane, this is funny somehow, because in Good Times, he's decided to include a drug-dealing baby in the show. And I can go into this a lot further, but I'm gonna keep it pushing, like I said. The last reason this is problematic is because it's literally the reason John Amos, the dad from the original Good Times, left the show. After 3 long seasons, John Amos left the show because he didn't like the direction of the character JJ. You know, the one whose catchphrase was dynamite. He felt the show was focusing too much on JJ's comedic antics at the expense of other important serious storylines. Additionally, Amos had concerns about the lack of diversity in the writing team and how the scripts portrayed African American characters. He believed that the white writers' perceptions of black family and black fatherhood did not align with his own experiences, and basically, it wasn't reflective of reality. And so here we are once again with the Good Times reboot with characters that aren't reflective of black reality, written by and executive produced by non-black people.
Now, I know it's not a remake, it's a continuation, but this trailer doesn't embody anything that made the original pull me in. In the original, the father, James, played by John Amos, was no nonsense, but the son, JJ, played by Jimmy Walker, was the king of shucking and jiving, so there was a balance. Eventually, John complained that the writers put in too much JJ buffoonery, and they killed John off. After that, the shucking and jiving was ramped up, and a lot of those later seasons are really fucking hard to watch. And the reason I brought all that up, because all the characters on here seem like a bunch of fucking JJs, and I don't see how you can balance that out. The trailer was filled with a bunch of bad one-liners, horrible animation.
So this is Renata Shepherd. Let's see if she no black. According to this, she was born in the south side of Chicago to a Cuban family and adopted by a black family. In other words, she no black. So let me get this straight. They positioned a well-liked black basketball player as a producer, had this white man, along with this woman of color, to write about a black family who happens to have a baby that's a drug dealer, and black people are supposed to be okay with this. They playing in our faces, y'all. I don't want no apologies. Apologize by canceling this shit.
In the last video, we talked about how members of the Colorless Committee are making money off of black trauma. And a lot of the comments are bringing up, well, Norman Lear was actually producer on the original show. This is Norman Lear, the man that stole the idea of Good Times, The Jeffersons, and What's Happening from another brother named Eric Monte. Yeah, grab your seats, caucasity is afoot. According to the Los Angeles Times in 1977, Eric Monte filed a lawsuit against Norman Lear for stealing his ideas for Good Times, The Jeffersons, and What's Happening. Eventually, he received a $1 million settlement and a small percentage of residuals from Good Times, but opportunities to pitch new scripts dried up after the lawsuit. Norman Lear and CBS knew that they were wrong, and so the brother actually got a $1 million settlement, but they decided not to work with him any further after that. All his writing opportunities dried up. After that, in 2003, the brother got a drinking habit, he filed for bankruptcy, and ended up living in a homeless shelter. While the person that he stole the idea from, Norman Lear, went on to have a $200 million net worth by the time he passed. So yeah, basically this whole show is cultural appropriation and stealing black ideas for white profit.
Believer that some things in film and television just need to be left the fuck alone. And Good Times is one of them. In case you missed it, yesterday Netflix released a brand new trailer for its upcoming animated reboot of Norman Lear's beloved television sitcom, Good Times, which aired for 6 seasons from 1974 to 1979. Good Times was among the first TV shows to thoughtfully portray a low-income black family, challenging stereotypes and sparking conversations about social and economic issues, and mixed humor with serious subjects like joblessness, crime, and discrimination, presenting these themes in a way that was accessible to a wide audience. This show, based on the trailer, doesn't seem to be honoring the spirit of the original. I understand it has a completely different vibe all its own, but when you attach an iconic name to the show, it comes with expectations. I genuinely don't know who the fuck this show is for and why it was needed. Why was something so beloved taken and turned into this? I have a feeling this could get canceled after 1 season, but I could be wrong. I get that Norman Lear blessed the R-rated series, but this feels like a decision that won't pay off. How are y'all feeling about it though? Is this a watch for y'all or a skip? Drop a comment and let me know.
So Netflix came out with their Good Times trailer, and this is trash. I can already call it right now. The thing is, I grew up watching Good Times, so I've seen all of this. I've seen all the old shows because I watched it because my mom watched it. And like, to see this remake it's so trash. All the stereotypes and a drug dealing baby? Like, come on now. Or this kid who's struggling in school and the teacher says, hey, can you do OnlyFans? Like, come on. This is just, like, Netflix, what are we doing right now? This show's gonna be just as bad as Velma, I guarantee it.
I heard they were doing a Good Times animated reboot and I got excited. Then I saw the trailer and I got disgusted. After 10 seconds of watching this trailer, I knew that this wasn't it, and it only got worse from there. I'm not against reboots when they're done right. The original Good Times was so important to the Black community, and I thought that this could be a good way to present it to the current generation. I was wrong. It felt like they tried to cram every bad Black stereotype they could in this one trailer.
Obsession with remaking old shows is getting sick and diabolical at this point. And at first, I didn't really clock it, but I think they're doing that on purpose to erase all of the old shows, because why on earth would we ever need an animated version of Good Times? I love me some Good Times. I watch it every night, and I've watched it since I was 15 years old. So I can speak on this because I love me a Good Times. But what is this? A hot mess. And this is why I'm pro DVD, because when I have children, they will be watching this, not this. Or even a bunch of other remakes. Why are you doing that?
In what fucking world do I need a Good Times reboot in animation form? I'm sick of it. Sick of it. Y'all don't have no ideas. Y'all don't have nobody in Hollywood that could come up with something different that ain't something from the fucking 70s or beyond that. Or after. Stop making shit over. I don't care if you don't put it down, flip it and reverse it. We tired. Like, nobody in Hollywood got no new ideas. Y'all not letting new people in there. Y'all not letting new writers in there or something. Hell, let me write some shit.
So Netflix has released the photo of Good Times, the animation. And people are already in their feeling. Throw it away. We don't want it. Oh, that looks like trash. The characters don't even look like the original. You stupid fuck. In the 70s, motherfuckers don't dress like they dress no more. What did y'all think this was about to be? And not only that, I'm so sick of this shit. Why y'all complain about every fucking... Y'all be wanting representation and shit, and when they give us something, you argue and complain before we can even see what the product is. And the people that's arguing about it, y'all too old to give a cartoon anyway. Let me take that back. But y'all are too old to give a... There's like this whole other group of people that's clearly too young to be talking that shit. And I get it. Oh, we can watch the reruns. We know what the show is about. So fucking... You're too young to understand the concept of the 70s into today's fucking society. Give it a chance. If the show is trash, then we call it trash. But just to say it's gonna be garbage off of a picture, y'all are tripping.
Hey, have y'all seen that new snippet, or not even snippet, what they call it, a trailer? Have y'all seen that new trailer for the new Good Times sitcom, bro? Y'all need to go watch that, bro. Y'all need to go watch that trailer, bro. I guess they like doing like a cartoon version of Good Times now. It's like gonna be like, I guess, an updated new 2024 version, but it's a cartoon version at the same time. And just go look at that, bro. Isn't that kind of weird how they kind of changed what Good Times was, like the nuances and the essence of what Good Times was? They done changed it to fit these weird, low-key, coonish stereotypes that black people have, bro. Like, it's weird. They at the club, they at the strip club, they up there, they curse. I mean, you can curse, you do whatever you want, but they got them getting into shootouts and a whole bunch of stuff. Like, dang, this what we doing, y'all? Like, we low-key feeding into the stereotypes that's put on us by people that don't look like us. You know what I'm saying? And I see some prominent figures in there like Jay Farrow and some other people in there. It's like, dang, this what y'all doing? This how y'all want us to be represented, and this how y'all want us to look? And I'm usually the person who usually I can usually detach from like social issues and stuff when it comes to like TV or whatever, and kind of be, I don't know, think of it in a different light in a way. But I was watching this and I didn't like the feeling I got from that, bro. Like seeing Good Times, because my parents, they watch Good Times all the time. Seeing what Good Times was, seeing how positive it was, seeing what it actually depicted of life in Chicago and life for black people in general in the 70s, seeing how it was depicted and seeing how they doing the new anime series or whatever, bro. I mean, I don't know, bro. Am I saying I'm not gonna watch it? I'm gonna look and tap into it because obviously obviously that stuff is gonna still be in it, but a trailer can kind of be, I don't want to say misleading, but I can't just go off a trailer. So I might really tap into the whole, at least first season of it, and give y'all another rant on that, bro. But y'all gotta go watch that trailer and let me know what y'all think about that. Something was weird about that. It rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know. I just don't like that, bro. It was just too many stereotypes and too much weird stuff depicted. Like, why is it always our culture that's like that? Why other cultures don't get that for real? Or not even other, it's one specific people I'm talking about that don't get that, but some other cultures do get that. But why is it like that, bro? Like, why can't we just have a new narrative? Why can't we have the real narrative? Because that's not even how all black communities are like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get what, I don't even not even put it into words, bro. Just go watch the trailer and let me know what y'all think about it, bro. It's kind of crazy to me.
So regressive, I had to double check what year it was. This series is executive produced by Steph Curry, Norman Lear, and Seth MacFarlane, and it might be too early to tell, but this just looks like a miss to me. The animation doesn't look all that good. It's not terrible, but it's also not very pleasing. The patriarch Reggie doesn't have the same energy as James did from the original show. I get that this is new, but when you use the same title, there's going to be comparisons. And I can see why the original actor John Amos no longer wanted to be part of the show, because it no longer has that good-hearted spirit. Then this OnlyFans joke about a young black boy just feels wrong. People can say it's just jokes, but the over-sexualization of black children is a real problem, and it's not funny. And this is a personal pet peeve of mine, but the black Jesus joke just is tired. I just don't see how black Jesus is funny. White Jesus is funnier to me. Then of course there's a drug dealing baby because they're trying to hit every stereotype target. Yeah, this is satire, but when there's harmful narratives, you have to ask yourself if this is doing any good or just perpetuating the problem. It's 2024 and there's so many different black perspectives to choose from, and this is what they chose. It's like they want our lives to be just one thing when we're so much more than that. When I watched the trailer, I thought that this looked like a Boondocks ripoff, and turns out that some of the same writers are working on this show. They could have made a whole new show and not have called it Good Times, because this feels nothing like that. I've only seen the trailer, I haven't seen the show, but at the same time, this is how they're presenting the story and I have to base it off that. I wanted this to be good, but we can do so much better.
What the fuck are we doing?